In 2007, the field of human-computer interaction, or HCI, had a breakthrough with Apple's first iPhone. This was the first mainstream release of a mobile device that allowed users to physically manipulate objects within the digital realm. In 2017, HCI began to see great advancements in spatial computing, a type of interaction in which the user's physical body serves as input and their surroundings as the medium. Since then, our interaction range with technology has notably expanded, making it possible to track precise subconscious input such as blinking rate and heart BPM, as well as conscious input such as hand and full body gestures. Much like mobile computing, it's likely that spatial computing will gradually become a large part of our everyday lives. With that being said, this raises an important question for the future of design. How will designers approach an interface that requires knowledge of the user's body in three-dimensional space over time? There are many fields of study to explore when learning about body, space, and time. However, a discipline that intertwines all three of these elements is dance. Dance focuses on the organization and formation of our bodies in relation to space. It analyzes the dynamic qualities of our movement, all within a measurable span of time. So how exactly can learning about dance give designers a foundation for implementing, documenting, and communicating user interactions? The answer lies in the works of a prevalent historical figure in the dance world, Rudolf Laban. Laban was a dance theorist in the 20th century who created a series of frameworks for analyzing, documenting, and describing human movement. His study, known as the Laban movement analysis, divides movement into four categories: body, space, shape, and effort. The kinesphere is the personal bubble of space that exists around our bodies. It goes as far out as our reach allows without shifting any weight. The kinesphere can be divided into three categories of reach and level. This includes near reach, mid reach, and far reach, following low level, mid level, and high level. Understanding a user's kinesphere can be useful when dealing with different zones of interaction. For example, how a user's spatial placement changes when standing upright versus sitting down. Developmental movement patterning, or DMP, is a method that analyzes and identifies movement patterns that we learn throughout our development. The DMP patterns are known as core distal, movement that flows towards the center of the body versus away from the body to the farthest extent; cross-lateral, coordinated movement coming from both sides of the body; head-tail, movement between the head and the tailbone; upper-lower, upper body mobility versus lower body stability; and body half, free mobility on one side of the body while the other side supports. Despite its complexity, becoming familiar with DMP can help a designer gain perspective on how the human body moves intuitively. Laban notation is referred to as the sheet music to dance. It's a framework that examines and documents human movement by using symbols to represent various directions, levels, and lengths of time. When recording a movement, these symbols are placed from bottom to top along a staff. Their placement on this staff will depend on which body parts are involved in the sequence. This system can be a great reference for designers as it gives them the ability to record movement of any kind. It provides a precise written notation that can help communicate simple to complex user interactions amongst other teams. Laban's shape qualities refer to how our bodies change form when moving through space. He does this by classifying movement in correspondence to different spatial planes. The three shape qualities in relation to their spatial plane are spreading or closing along the horizontal plane, rising or sinking along the vertical plane, and advancing or retreating along the sagittal plane. This framework can be used to describe the spatial trajectory of a user interaction. For instance, when a user shakes hands with another player, that movement can be described as an advancing motion due to its placement. Effort qualities are defined by the energy exerted in a movement. They are categorized by direction, speed, weight, and flow. Direction can be direct or indirect, speed can be quick or sustained, weight can be heavy or light, and flow can be bound or free. Here are these individual effort qualities in action. When these four qualities are combined, they form an effort action. There are 8 effort actions in total: punch, slash, dab, flick, press, ring, glide, and float. Now let's take a look at what these individual effort qualities look like when combined into an effort action. All of Laban's frameworks combined can be used for designers to gain an in-depth understanding of human movement. We can use these studies to create a new gesture vocabulary for the three-dimensional interface. Lauren Bedell, an interactive designer at Google, is one of the few in the design industry having this conversation. She created a vocabulary list composed of Laban's terms for designers to utilize. Additionally, she has already begun to use his studies in her own work, such as in Soli by Google, a miniature radar chip that can track body movement and interpret nonverbal cues. Spatial computing and its advancements have brought us closer to the digital world than ever before. As we transition from a flat interface into a highly immersive one, designers will need a language for building, documenting, and communicating embodied user interactions. Using what you've now learned from dance methodologies, how might you use this knowledge in your design thinking? If you're not a designer, how may you use this information in your own practice?